right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Belly Bet. Sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Merely Bo. Great Z.
Oh, baby.
Look at it out there. It's, dare I say, next level's next?
I'd like to go play golf if that's what you're implying.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Who gets hurt?
Not us.
We got
We'd
nothing.
benefit.
Do we have any news? Do we have anything
great
going on?
benefit. Well, at least last week is over, and I'm glad I just by chance took the Vikings. It worked out well. I'm glad that week for the scores is
what
over.
What a mess.
Yeah.
You know what? The NFL has achieved. I think this weekend was probably the best example of it, of the most recent best example of it. The NFL has achieved any given Sunday. It is done. It is parity. The margin is so thin between these teams, and when something starts to go wrong, even for a really good team or a great team, it can unravel in a hurry. There were. You look at this weekend, I will do one thought. There were stupefying results this weekend.
Stupefying.
Not even just
great
like
word.
It's not even from the standpoint of even, they didn't cover, or we got this. Like Detroit got absolutely slumped, absolutely hammered. This Niners team, coming off of a loss last week to us, goes to Minnesota with an extra day, but nevertheless to Minnesota. And this is a Niners team that was the most comprehensive team in football coming into the game here. And all of a sudden, Minnesota kind of got what they wanted in the game. And there were specifics we can get into later. But there were examples. New England beating Buffalo the way that they did. New England had been incompetent for 3 weeks and then somehow musters the guts and the courage and the ability. I didn't even think that it was possible for them to go down the field and win after Buffalo comes all the way back. The NFL has done it. They have any given Sunday true parity.
Yeah, and it's fun. It was
is.
a fun game. Watch my dad very unhappy. They didn't deserve to win, was the text that he fired off at the end of the game.
The Niners didn't deserve to win?
Yeah, that's what he was.
Probably not.
He was unpleased. And I think part of it is, we talked last year about kind of the effect of playing the Niners and what that meant for teams the following week. I think that, to me, Brock Purdy looked like he had not fully recovered from going against the Browns. And that he looked a little rattled. His feet looked a little happier. He looked a little more unsure of himself in the pocket than the Brock Purdy that we had come to see. So it was – and Kirk Cousins, I got to tell you, there is nobody who I became a bigger fan of more in the last 12 months probably than Kirk Cousins. And it started with –
quarterback or?
Just as everything about him. Mm-hmm. It started with – seeing them go on that winning streak, and you'd see the videos, and Za'Darius would be right there, and he's in the chains, and he's like acting crazy, and Kirk Cousins, that was great. But that show quarterbacks showed you a man who is so unbelievably committed to being the best that he can be, so unbelievably committed to being the best quarterback that he can be for his team and to win. And I think it's cool when, the Knox, he can't play in primetime. He put on a show last night. When you look at the degree of difficulty of a lot of the throws that he would make as he was getting hit, falling back, off balance, all of it, and the accuracy with which he delivered the football was incredible. And so I was very happy for Kirk Cousins last night. They got a gem in Jordan Addison. We all kind of knew that in the draft going into there. And he was, without Justin Jefferson, he was a one. They were doubling him. He was putting on double moves and getting open. He was a legit one. Let's
stay with Cousins for a second.
Yeah.
You were talking about quarterback and what I mean, I guess it's what I assumed he was like, but to see what it takes to be a professional quarterback in this league, the type of dedication to craft that it takes, the type of physical dedication it takes to get your body right and then get your mind right and to reload it every week, the type of professionalism that is required to play it at the highest level. And if you don't do those things, you will not. We've seen it in recent. The Johnny doc was out and just how he went completely the opposite of that. And no matter how talented you are, there is a very hard ceiling on it if you are not a pro's pro. This league is too good. It is too damn good. And he does not. He's obviously in terms of the grand population, he's an elite athlete, but he does not have all the elite traits that the great quarterbacks have necessarily. Nor did Manning, quite honestly. Manning had a hose, but I mean, not towards the end of his career. But what you have in Cousins is someone who puts the very best version of himself on the field every single Sunday.
That's right.
And that is something that I respect the hell out of, man. Like, They've won a lot of games in Minnesota with him. They have not been the same in Washington since he left. He had them being competitive year in, year out. They've been competitive in Minnesota year in and year out. He gives you a fighting chance every single Sunday because he maxes out what he is. And that's so rare.
Yes, and I think that the juxtaposition in that show was twofold. One, against Patrick Mahomes, who I don't think I realized just how committed he was. And then you take about the fact that he has the gifts to be one of the greatest of all time, if not ultimately the greatest of all time, and that he does that. And then I thought there was a juxtaposition with Marcus Mariota, who wanted it but was sort of, a little soft, nonplussed by the whole thing, whereas Kirk Cousins was maniacally driven to get every ounce out of whatever gifts he may have. And I think Mahomes is, and that's the difference. Kirk Cousins has maxed out what he was as a fourth-round pick, and somebody who now has been, one of the wealthiest quarterbacks in the history of the league, one of the most successful in terms of certainly his stats. Maybe his teams have not achieved the level of greatness of some others, and then Mahomes, who has those otherworldly gifts. You don't have a ceiling if you're not committed. You have a floor, and you don't have the ability to be a player. And the question is, how much do you want it? And that's why, for example, our good buddy, the Hoff, his dedication to his craft and then his unbelievable gifts combined to make him a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's what it takes. And I think that, that show showed that so much about Cousins, who would never be confused with having the gifts of a Hoff as a tackle or as a Mahomes as a quarterback.
Yeah.
But has achieved anyway. He's like a little Lebowski urban achiever. He achieved
really is.
Anyway.
He did achieve anyway. Yeah, here's the other thing. Like, they are back to 3-4 now.
Oh, they're back in the mix, so they're
in the mix.
They're not fire sailing.
No
way.
No way. They're back in the mix fully. Yep. They'll get Jefferson's out one more week, right?
Yep.
I think. Has he missed 2?
I think he's missed 2, so I think he's
two more weeks. Okay, so a couple more weeks before Jefferson comes back. But they are certainly well enough off to be able to handle that. Addison's a stud, and away you go. So, yeah, I mean, from the Niners' perspective, 2 disappointing losses for them in a row, and now they get the Bengals at home on this Sunday at 4:25. They get back home, and they get a Bengals team coming off a bye.
Yeah, they certainly do, and that'll be an interesting one because that feels like 2 teams. The Bengals, it feels like just the way that our division is going.
Yeah,
they do not want to find themselves at 3-4.
No, and I, talking to little Bengals this morning, and this is as healthy as they've been since the first day of camp.
Yep.
Higgins is going to be a full go. Burrow's had a week to rest.
Will he catch the ball? They throw him the ball?
I don't know, but I mean, he's been kind of a half go for the last couple of weeks. So we'll see whatever happens there. But yeah, that is a very, very fun one in that late afternoon window on Sunday. The Browns return to practice tomorrow. We are off today. A couple of transactions. We've waived running back Deion Jackson. Also, the Rams have signed Lucas Haversick off the Browns practice squad to replace Brett Maher, who they cut after the disappointing result for him on Sunday.
1 for 3, and he was going to return to Dallas. Nope, not welcome on that plane flight. Yeah, Maher had a tough one, and that's a thing that stinks because that was a tough one for the Browns because had he played a little bit better in that game, he was responsible for 7 missed points.
7 points, yeah.
So that would have been – they lost by 7, turns out.
Yeah, that could have done it right there, absolutely. So that was a big one. And then the news, and Coach alluded to this, but Jerome Ford out with a low-grade high ankle sprain. He's going to reportedly miss a couple of weeks, a week or 2 on that. So now no Nick Chubb. So now Jerome Ford is out. Pierre Strong will elevate into that. But remember, we had Kareem Hunt on yesterday. He's dealing with injuries as well. So that room got very thin quickly.
It did. And I think that we will see Pierre Strong. And I like what we've seen from him. A lot of burst. He's a guy who for his career is right around 7 yards a carry. But pretty unproven. That's a small sample size for Pierre Strong. Jerome Ford showed that burst on the 69-yard touchdown run. You've got Kareem. The Browns reportedly, I've seen a report on Twitter that the Browns are signing Jordan Wilkins to the practice squad per source that comes from Brad Stainbrook 9 minutes ago. So I don't know if that's true or not, but Wilkins was with us early in training camp, remember, and actually looked pretty good, and you thought he was going to end up being the team's 3rd running back.
Yeah.
And then he had the 2 fumbles on kind of the exchange issues with Deshaun Watson in Kansas City.
That's right.
And that was kind of the end of his
That
run. But
seems
he's a
like
guy
6
who
years
averaged
ago.
like 5 yards a carry for his whole career in the NFL.
Yeah, we
a
were high on
productive
him.
player. Yeah, he looked good for us. I mean, he had played actually well other than that. And then when they make the trade for Pierre Strong, he's released. If that's true, he would be back. And he's somebody who at least is familiar with our offense and in the event and is a professional. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards in the NFL. If he needed to go play, that he would be able to do that.
Doesn't that seem like 6 years ago?
It does seem like quite a while ago, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's still so much of this season to go. So got, 11 games left? 4-2? Yeah, 11
Yeah,
games left.
11
Jeez. Yeah, it's nuts. Long season. Yeah, what do you got? What is he doing?
We're trying
What's
to
he
do a
doing?
show.
We're doing a show.
We're doing a show.
Where's he going?
We're doing a show.
What's he doing?
Who's running the Uno?
Uno's running the operation?
Uno. Get on the mic. Griff, give everybody Uno cam.
There's Uno.
Uno cam. Uno, what's going on in there?
Where's
Where's Gibby?
What's he doing?
Seattle travel meeting for today.
Oh, conveniently scheduled at 1 o'clock.
Yes. We schedule
Fantastic.
things very well around these parts.
Fantastic. Seattle travel meeting. Well, you and I should have a Seattle travel meeting. We could do it on the golf course. We just gave you 12 minutes
I'm
of
in.
gold.
I'm in. I mean, that's more than most people will give you.
That's all you
12
need.
minutes.
That's all you need is that right there. That'll take care of it. So he's doing a little travel meeting there, is the Gibbe.
I feel like that's something where the information could just be disseminated to him at the conclusion of the meeting. I don't believe that he's like making decisions in the meeting. I think he's just learning things.
He's a travel agent.
Right.
Jason, how would you like us to proceed on the hotels?
Well, I think it really feels to me like
Actually,
this
you know
should be a 767 flight as opposed to the traditional 757 on our transcons. And I'd also like to see us, let's upgrade it to the Ritz-Carlton, shall we?
More of a Weston guy. Yeah. I know that we're booked into the JW, but
I have points.
That's points
I
I got to consider. Let's see if we can get that. Yeah. As for these meals, to me, this is just not what we're needed from a traveling party.
Let's have some nice sushi. We're in Seattle.
Yeah,
feels
that'd be
like,
solid.
Feels like a win.
Yeah, Seattle's a great town.
It is.
Yeah.
Although we're getting the best of Seattle's weather.
We're getting bad stuff. What do we got?
Well, it's raining, I think, all week, and it does look like it is going to be cold. Looks like it's going to be cold there.
I'm pulling it up now.
I believe it maybe 50, 52 at the most.
And wet?
Yeah, and not great.
All right, we got it here. Here we go. Come on, give me. Seattle's gorgeous all week until Sunday. Gosh, it's. Oh no, here we go. That's us.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get rain. Doesn't look like 7% chance. It's 47 though is your high. Chilly with times of clouds and sun. High of 47 in Seattle. There you go. So that'll be brisk.
It will be brisk. Did you hear the crazy story out of one of the craziest stories about the Browns' victory?
Okay.
Is that this game featured the first birth of a child inside Lucas Oil Stadium.
Okay. I saw this somewhere in passing, but I did not get a chance to properly digest the story. Continue.
And that my understanding is from various reports that the woman in question was a member of David Bell's family who's from Indianapolis, and they were there to all watch him, which is wild.
Yeah.
Is Uno talking to us? Is he on the mic? I hear him talking.
He's talking to Griff, I think.
Are you talking to Griff?
Yeah.
Whenever he confirms that, Griff, when we say, are you talking to Griff, and he gives us that good nod, Uno cam. Let's try it again. Are you talking to Griff in there? There it is. There it is. There it is. I mean, now I feel like we're completely justified in going golfing.
Yeah.
After
well,
that.
he's out of his big meeting.
Oh, here he is.
This is a short meeting.
Oh, man.
Oh, look. You having a
We
real
need to get-
conversation with Sark. An entertaining quip.
Yeah.
Gibby there.
Yeah.
Sark really liked it.
Stargate's loving it. Photo Jesus.
Yeah, he's on it. There you go.
He was striding around. Look how he strides around with his Yeti.
He's got that orange Yeti that
Yeah.
he's got on him at all times. So you can always
Stay hydrated. It's important.
Got to keep that throat lube. Never know when a BPA is going to sneak up on you.
Ooh, right, in Ibs Boys reunion. Gibby, we'd like you to sit down. There he is. We'd like you to sit down. We're going to have a better camera for you. We'd like you to sit down. We have questions. Oh, you're going to come in?
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on
the
in.
water's
Gibby.
warm.
Here, let me get you. Make
Hey, did you get your shirt, by the way?
Did not. Here, get back. Dad, I don't know that that's even plugged in. Is it plugged in?
Well, it will be in a
Get it
second.
plugged in. Get yourself plugged in. There you go.
This feels like a much bigger interruption than you just sitting at your normal seat. But I'm happy to have
Is
you.
he up? Is he up?
running the show?
Uno, do you have him up? Do you have
Uno,
his
is he
mic
up? Uno cam. Uno, is he up? Thumbs up.
Uno,
Uno
up.
cam.
He's up.
Yes.
Oh, you're putting him on.
Of course we are.
Uno cam.
You're going.
What do you mean?
Griff's back
Now
there.
Griff's got to come in and adjust the
gotta come
camera
in
so
and-
you can
Nope,
be in the
I
wide
like it.
shot.
I'm off the camera. It's great.
No,
Perfect.
that's not how it works.
This is working.
It's not how the show
fantastic.
There
works.
was your authority. Griff stopped.
Griff said he did.
Stop.
Jeez. Griff.
There you go. Here.
Griff, don't let him. No, there he is. There's Gibbe. Don't let him boss you like that. So you had to go to a travel meeting?
Yeah.
So here's my question to you, because I see you holding a travel packet.
Yeah.
That travel packet, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had access to that earlier when we were talking with the debutante. You were able to pull that travel packet up, I thought.
10 minutes before the meeting. That's when I got it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a little.
So
prep.
what happened?
Your cheat sheet.
So
Cheat
in the
sheet for
meeting, we figured the reason you were in the meeting is because you're deciding, like, if we're flying at 757 or a 767, you're picking hotels, meals,
Yeah,
or
meal plan.
are you just in there listening?
No, so it's logistically making sure that everybody's on the list. Chris Rose is calling the game this week. He's flying in separately. I got to coordinate that.
Your people.
Make
so he's
sure
flying
that-
in from L.A.
Yes.
Yes, right.
So making sure
I love
that
when you write notes. your notes are the best. Like when you
Copious.
first started doing it, like years ago,
It's
and I was
copious.
like, "Oh man, he must be writing something important." And then usually it's,
Let
oh,
me
LA,
get my
okay,
pen.
let me
Let me get my
yeah,
pen. I just want to make sure that we got.
Yeah. So,
So
I have a pen now,
that
too.
note
Like-
consisted of L.A. to Seattle.
what
That was the
time?
note.
What time we got to be on the plane?
What time is it? Give me the time. Are we early?
Yeah.
When are you guys flying? Saturday or Friday?
Saturday. What time do we fly on Saturday?
1:30. We have to be there at noon.
Well, you're picking up 3 hours.
Are we doing the same thing as last time?
Yes. So,
Dismay. Look at the dismay on his face.
well, you wasn't the only one.
I don't understand.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a break.
Oh, sad.
That's
I
behind,
like the
that's
show.
behind the scenes.
The show is the show.
Yeah, not this one.
Not.
Nope.
This means we may not be in our beds until Tuesday morning.
Oh, sad.
So yeah, because we have to be bussed to the plane again, and everything is going under the plane. We are trucking
Oh no!
nothing.
Look at this.
So,
you hate this. So
I
will you
was
guys
told-
be here Monday for Cleveland Browns Day?
Yes, we're gonna walk in.
Not me.
Yes,
Very
yes, you
barely.
are.
Not me.
Very
I'm
yes,
gonna
you
be. I'm gonna have to. I have to sleep. I'm a man. I'm 45 years old. You cannot
need to sleep?
You can't put me on a 48-hour heater.
I thrive.
48 hours.
I thrive on it. Yeah, this is the same guy Saturday night that was in bed at like 10 o'clock.
That's right.
And he
Let me get
pulls
my
a
pen.
Simon Gibbs. It's a business trip. Whatever.
I
Alice.
wasn't. I wasn't.
C-Bone.
I actually wasn't in bed at
C-Bone.
10 o'clock.
The great Simone.
I was not. But going to Kilroy's was not something I was willing to do because that
That's
would
your
get.
fault.
That can get.
Hey,
really
we were
loose.
responsible. We
I
were
was
home
at
by
the
midnight.
hotel
we,
bar.
We watched
sipping
US.
a fine bourbon cocktail like a distinguished gentleman.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't get invited to those, and there is a reason. I thrive
not
at
true.
Kilroy's.
Is there a?
I
where are
watched,
you guys
I watched
eating?
USC and I watched
Oh, that was a good
Utah,
game, yeah.
and then I came back. Like responsibility matters. I was where I needed to be.
Yeah. The All right. Do you guys have? Do you know where you're eating in Seattle Saturday? Has that been established?
No, but
There's got to
we've
be some
been
great
in,
fresh fish.
We're not
opportunities.
staying in Seattle.
Oh, boy.
Where are we staying?
We're staying outside
In
the city.
Tacoma?
No, I mean it maybe it's Seattle proper. I don't know.
Cheney?
It's 17 miles away from
The stadium?
Oh. That's a bit.
How many?
It's across a lake.
How many bridges? I was just going to say how many bridges.
How
are you
many
having to go
miles?
across
The
to get-
stadium and the airport though are close, as I recall, which makes me happy.
I don't recall.
I think that's true.
I just
'Cause Boeing's
recall
right there.
you.
I've never flown in. I've only
I
driven.
recall helping you get Skittles out of your coat and your hair at the time, and
Yeah, being
everything
I was
else.
assaulted.
You were
I was
assaulted with
pelted by
Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah.
Did you see what our sideline gurus got hit with this week?
No.
Hot wheel cars.
Who's packing those? The indie people?
Somebody threw them at Gerard.
It hit Clay.
Oh my God!
That's
Hot Wheels
assault.
cars. That is assault. 100%. Hot Wheels. It's a metal object.
That's today's.
We live in a
that's the
society.
today. That was.
Were they trying
yesterday's
to?
round.
Were they?
I don't know.
Were they
what
trying to
were.
hit them, or were they trying to hit the official? Because Gerard had reported from the sideline that there was a great deal of hostility towards that.
This was in the first
official.
quarter. This is before.
Oh,
First
before it
quarter.
got south. What are you so mad about so early?
Yeah, relax. It was like 14-14 at that point. It was a shootout. It was a
Really
track
was.
meet.
Really was.
Yeah.
Everybody was having a
So
good time.
no, it just the West Coast trips are a little tougher. Logistics
You can say that again.
and time difference and making sure everybody's on the same.
So Chris wants us to break bread on Saturday. So you're in.
Yeah, we'll see.
So there you go.
There you go.
I'll let you know.
Very good.
It's not as
Good job.
insulting to
Good
me as it is
debrief.
to Chris Rose. Good debrief. Yeah, it was good that he was there during
Yeah,
show.
I like it.
I
like
was-
it.
Look,
we were in-
I
I
know
like- that
it
should
is
be-
not ideal.
No.
Our fantastic travel coordinator does a fantastic job of getting us in and out. There is no, there's no small talk. It's get in. Like I know you
for
all
the
have
meeting
other
or
places.
for the travel. Yeah,
I know you have other places
What
to
I
be. I
like-
don't want to take up your time. And she is. This travel packet is stupid detail.
This is what
It
I
is
like.
crazy.
I like, and I want to. Can we? I want to
She's
do a new segment sponsored by CCCM, where Gibby
So
debrief.
3 C's.
The Gibby debrief.
Gibby debrief.
Gibby
Yeah.
debrief. So
on a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday, let's have a Gibby debrief.
Yeah.
Next week's a big one.
Yeah,
Next week's
that's what I
Denver,
want.
LA.
That's what I want. No, that's not
No,
next
no,
week.
no,
You got
no. That's
Arizona
after
that.
Thanksgiving, brother.
Next week we start.
Oh, you start
We
planning
have a
it.
giant meeting.
Oh,
about
I
that.
look forward to that. I'll give you an hour.
All right,
on
yeah,
Tuesday
and I
on
want.
that.
Can we give you a note to head in there? The only question I have is golf clubs.
Yes, of course.
That's the only question I have.
I have no idea.
where
Quite
do-
honestly,
Where do
mean,
I take my golf clubs?
I don't
so
think
that they take
how,
my golf
how
clubs?
how is that going to be possible?
What do you mean?
for sure it's gonna happen. And honestly, I would
Well,
even if
you
somebody
were going to get
said,
invited to play clubs.
well,
How's it
so are
gonna
you.
happen?
And
No,
here's what I would
I
say:
won't, I won't be.
Yeah, you
even
will.
even if they won't, then you ship them
ship sticks.
because you're not.
I feel
I
like
like
I don't.
ship
We're
sticks.
gonna have a big plane.
I know, but I
How
don't
would they
think
get there?
if there's
No,
any
but
pushback.
you have to remember, on the West Coast trips, everything goes under the plane. We don't truck anything.
That's fine. All fine.
So
Because
I don't know how much room there's going to be.
Doesn't matter. Your sticks get shipped.
Thank you.
You're going. You're going to play every day.
Yes.
That's how that's going to go.
Joe
You're going to be
Hayden
done
wa-
with this show at 3:00. It's noon.
Noon.
You're playing at 1.
I don't know.
You'll be
What time's
Bel Air
practice?
one
What
day?
time's
Riviera,
availability?
Bel Air.
What if you ran into LD at Riviera?
If I could play golf with Larry.
No,
David,
even in the vicinity.
If I
Let's
could-
not have the biggest ask in the history of the world.
You think
Like
that's the
dream-
biggest ask? That would be my.
It's your dream. He's one of your dream foursome. We've been over it.
100%.
Is he
So
on
it
social
would
media?
be-
Can we reach out to
It
him?
would
and be
be
like,
as
hey,
big.
the Browns
to,
want to play
no,
golf?
I don't think that he would. No, I think
He might care if I maybe I got him talking about the Jets. Promised him some real VIP access for Jets Browns
somehow you would have better VIP access than any that Larry David could get on his own.
in Cleveland. Maybe.
I was gonna go, but then this Zagura guy, he said he could hook me up for Brown
First of
sidelines
all,
passes.
I think we'd have a great time playing golf.
I agree. I think
he'd
would.
enjoy it.
But let's go back. I do
tenth as
think
much
it-
as I would.
I do think it would be one of the biggest asks. Like that is a dream ask for you because he's one of your four people. One of your favorite things to do in the life is to play golf.
That's right.
To be able to do it at Riviera with Larry David would be like 3/4 of the heavenly bucket list.
Stop it.
Come on,
We could check off a
But I
lot
think
of
you
bucket
could-
list items in LA.
could be part of the foursome.
Great.
All right, Gibby, good debrief. Good job, buddy.
It's a lot of work this week.
There is. Well, just wait, buddy. More
It's a
coming.
lot of work.
Those are the hot topics of the day presented by Vivid Seats.
But now I'm
And it-
here till 3.
There you go.
So let's play higher or lower. And
Well, we're
one
gonna do
thought
all
and
that stuff.
We have a
Better-
new segment
better
we're
or worse.
debuting.
Yeah, new
We've got a new
segment.
segment.
I'm sure Zagura has it going one way, and
Well,
I
let's
have
see
it
how it
going a
goes.
whole different way.
Let's
So
see how
we'll
it goes. Your ticket comes with the pregame field pass, parking, all-inclusive food and beverage, and a $50 Brown Shop gift card. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, official fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. A brand new segment coming your way next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Dude, this
Part of one of the most passionate fan bases in the National Football League. Join Next Gen STM, presented by Ticketmaster, the official wait list of the Cleveland Browns. Being a Next Gen STM is the best chance to secure tickets for all home games of future seasons. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/waitlist to reserve your spot today. This is a new segment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. You need your mic on?
Yeah, baby.
It is called After Further Review.
We have a sounder for it.
I have not been briefed on this segment. I have no idea.
This is my brainchild. Because I feel like
what
with
could
the
go
Monday,
wrong?
there's so much going on.
I like it. Let's go.
We don't get a chance to really
Fly blind.
get into the game.
Where's the giant bee? The giant Venus. Get it. It's down there.
It is down there. It's right by you, Gibby. He's saying reach in there.
Oh, all right. You were kind
I'm a professional.
You were,
Right down there.
Right? He's helping you out.
Come on. It's heavy.
I reserve judgment on that.
Give me that thing.
Nope. Let's see how the segment goes before I.
No, but I'm saying I don't even need to know what the segment is, and I'm going to be just fine.
He's saying that he's the big B.
Yeah.
He wasn't. That wasn't for me.
Good. Yeah, I would give reserving
I
judgment
miss
on
these.
this.
You remember the props? God, we had great props.
Oh,
It's
boy.
got to bring the props
Yeah.
out again.
Props are there. I think that they go hand in hand with pure joy.
I agree. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
this is
like
a great
that.
prop.
We're trying to do a show over here, sir.
There was mustaches.
Oh, yeah, there were mustaches.
Mustaches.
That was for
The
Pedro.
Pedro. The
Pedro
Pedros.
mustache. What are you talking about?
The Pedros. Nerd. Yeah. Spumoni. Yes.
All right, let's do the segment.
All right, so my thought of it was, and I thought I was only going to get 4 things total, but apparently I've been gifted 4 on each.
Well, I figured,
right.
we can go number one on offense, one on defense. Number
Okay.
2, I was thinking first down, second down, third down, fourth down, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I like it. Workshopping it.
We can be
Let's go.
flexible.
So it's just a way because we talk about the game, but then it's pure joy, and then the half's on, and it just all of a sudden the show goes away. And I want to be able to, this might be more enjoyable following a win after further review. I don't know how much reviewing we want to do of losses per se.
you have
Baltimore
to, and
game
this
would-
is why I wanted to streamline it.
The Baltimore game would not have been the most fun.
After further review, we lost.
Yeah. Really sucked.
We're
After
on to the
fur-
bye week.
yeah.
That's what I said. We're on to the bye week. And it can be that. So it could be maybe after a loss we can streamline it, whatever, or highlight things that were positives in the face of adversity. We're not going to win every game. That's just the NFL, the parity you talked about at the beginning of it. 4 things that stood out. How do you want to do on Boda? Be like, thing 1. Do you want some
well,
of that?
no.
First
we have,
down.
We have a
down.
sounder.
All right,
Climax, hit the sounder.
Oh, climax has sound.
Number 1.
No. There's like a referee thing.
After review.
There it
Yeah.
Oh.
is. Do you know how difficult it is to find one of those right
After
now?
further review,
Because they now do them when you're in commercial breaks.
Yeah, and then they come out and just say
Yeah.
here's what
the
happened.
ruling on the field stands.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
don't
don't
do
give
it
you the
anymore.
whole after
Yeah.
further review. Yeah. So, all right, on the offensive side of the ball, thing 1, David Njoku is having a sensational season that does not show up necessarily in the stat sheet. I'd like to see him get more targets. I would like to see him more involved in the pass game. But what he is doing in the run game, and even as a pass blocker at times, but what he's doing specifically in the run game is making this work. If you go back and watch Jerome Ford's 69-yard touchdown run, he has perfect technique, and his ability as a blocker, and also kudos to Donovan Peoples-Jones on that one, though, is what made that avenue so big for Jerome Ford. So that would be thing number 1. David Njoku having a much better season than just his pass-catching stats would indicate.
When they announced that Jerome Ford's run was 69 yards, Bootsy goes, "Oh, 69," and I go, "So?" "So? What is that?" "You know." I said, "No, I don't. What do you think that is?" And it's only, of course, because he has an older brother. Because there's no way NBC would not have known this when he was 7, and he has no clue. He has no clue. He just knows it's something. It's something.
Something.
And so he's trying to sound cool.
Yeah.
Oh, 69. Okay. Yeah. Moron. Next!
After review.
Number 2, on offense, we have got to talk a little bit about Jed Wills and what he has done the last 2 weeks. Jed Wills the last 2 weeks has turned in, I think, the 2 best games of the season for him, specifically as a pass blocker. He has looked good, and if you go back and watch kind of his down block on the final touchdown to win the game, he was excellent there as well. In this game, just gave up 2 pressures on 39 pass rushes from an edge tandem that had been getting to the quarterback. They had 7 sacks combined coming in. And Jed Wills is starting to play at a level that we've needed to see.
That is, we Rock. She's not worried about Seattle. She's got it locked in.
She's just out there swimming, having a good
She's
time.
living her best life.
Busy week for them.
We talked
Yeah.
about how
Maybe.
how bad it was for him at the start of the year. So to see him salvage a season here in the middle of it, good job out of him.
And it's big, and it's
you got to have it.
especially right now with the fact that we are limited on offense. What we have to avoid are those major negative plays, and he has been able to do that. You think about it at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
His major negative plays had catastrophic consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And so to clean that up and have him playing well, that's something I think we can be very, very excited about.
Big Thanos continues to dominate. He's just ridiculous.
That was going to be number 3, is that he
Next!
After review,
DeJuan Jones should be a Rookie of the Year candidate. He should be an Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate. Of all of the rookies who have played at least 250 pass blocking snaps, he is number 1 in pass blocking grade. He is number 1 in fewest sacks allowed, number 1 in fewest pressures allowed. Last week, he allowed 1 pressure. If you look at what he did in matchups, just his snaps against Trey Hendrickson, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, he's allowed 6 pressures total.
Crazy.
That's wild. And he's only allowed 1 sack, and that sack was credited to him.
We went over that. With
Despite the
Bosa.
fact that he did not touch Bosa, it was a mental error more than it was he got beat. He has not been beaten for a sack yet this season, so he has been spectacular in that regard.
Next.
Number 4. These aren't all going to be great. Unfortunately, a lot of these are going to be good, and we're going to talk about. We talked about some of the things that were very good, specifically in the blocking area. This one was not good. Outside of David Njoku, our tight ends are very critical to what we do in the run game, especially when we're trying to run to the outside. And even if you were to look at it on that final touchdown, they have struggled. Our tight ends, not named David Njoku, have struggled a little bit as run blockers, and Harrison Bryant in particular has struggled in that regard. And so when you look at our stats and you see why do we have we're 26th in the league, which means we have the 6th most negative or no gain runs. That's what's happening. If you go back and watch a tape of this game in particular on some of those big negative runs, that's where the breakdown was. And I think we've got to get that cleaned up. And I'll give you a bonus because Gibbe knew I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it to make him proud. Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper are getting open with great regularity. Mm-hmm. We have just got to get the football to them.
Kind of critical.
We are getting guys
out.
open. Schematically, things are working. One-on-one wise, things are working. Marquise Goodwin, quite frankly. Marquise Goodwin could easily be sitting here after 6 games with 3 touchdowns that have gone for a combined 160 yards.
Yeah.
We have got 0 of those. So we got to hit those a little better. But guys are getting open.
And now to the defense.
So this was kind of that feast or famine-ish type of game. But number 1.
After review.
Number 1. Jordan Elliott is starting to play big-time football for the Cleveland Browns. When you go back and watch, he had a tackle for a loss and a sack in this game. They were both him absolutely dominating and manhandling Quentin Nelson, who has been a Pro Bowler every year he's been in the league, 4-time All-Pro, considered to be, he's like Joel Bitonio, right? Considered one of the best guards in the NFL, and Jordan Elliott dominated him. And I thought that really stood out to me in this one.
Next.
After review.
Tony Fields had not played defense, save for a snap or 2 prior to this game. No Sione Takitaki. He actually played only 2 fewer snaps than Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in this one. His tackling was elite. He was near the team lead in terms of tackles. And then he is a guy that when he gets his hands on the football, he's like Chris Carter. All he does is score touchdowns. Mm-hmm. He's got 1 interception for his career, touchdown. He's got 2 fumble recoveries for his career, 1 of them, touchdown.
Yep.
He scored 2 defensive touchdowns in very limited playing time on the defensive side of the ball. So shout out to Tony Fields for filling in. He had 6 tackles on the day and the touchdown. I thought he did a very, very good job in this one.
After review.
Maurice Hurst is having an unbelievable season for the Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. He's got the half sack. We know that. He probably could have a few more, but his swim move and his pressure have contributed not only to his own sacks, his own tackle for losses, which he had in this game as well, but to other people's sacks. He and Dalvin Tomlinson, their ability to push the pocket in pass rushing situations it's been awesome. And Maurice Hurst, that was a great find. You think about the overhaul of that defensive tackle room. Only brought one guy back, Jordan Elliott. He's playing very, very well. The guys they brought in, Dalvin, Mo Hurst, Shelby Harris, are all playing very well. And shout out Shelby Harris. This isn't a bonus one, but Shelby Harris for what he did on Miles' field goal block, getting on top of Quentin Nelson and not letting him get his hands up, because that by rule, if the fingertip touches Miles' shoe, it's a penalty. So he's probably not going to be able to do that again, because defenses, their linemen are going to get their hands up and make it so he can't jump over. That was good job by Shelby Harris.
Next.
After review,
Bless you.
It was awesome for Zadarius Smith, who probably should have about 6 sacks this year, to finally get his first sack. He's around the quarterback. His pass rush win rate is about 18%, top 20 in the NFL, top 20 in the league. So he has played actually very well, just hasn't shown up necessarily there. Led the team with 2 quarterback hits, got that sack, forced the fumble, sealed the win. That was awesome.
Yes, it was.
And then you get a bonus. You want a bonus?
A bonus, of course, a bonus 5.
Bonus on D. Go back and watch. Go back and watch. Review yourself. Denzel Ward's interception. You and I talked about it a little bit.
Unbelievable.
Yesterday. They run what looks like they thought it was a handoff. Juan Thornhill did, because they're playing cover 3. Juan Thornhill comes from the middle of the field thinking it's a run, fully bites on the fake. Downs releases to the inside. Now, we're lucky. If his route was to go inside and go post,
Yep.
it wasn't. It was inside. Denzel sees that the tight end coming out is covered in front of him, because Thornhill did a good job peeling off onto that tight end. And so he sloughs off into the middle of the field, reads Minshew's eyes, sees that Downs the only receiver there, and comes over and undercuts that. That was an incredible interception, incredible awareness, because he had stepped up too, got back, was able to flip his hips, see the receiver, undercut the ball, get the interception for the Cleveland Browns. So I thought excellent job there by Denzel Ward.
Yeah. An excellent job out of you.
I think it's a solid segment, right?
I like it. Plus, Pedro would approve.
Nerd. Lucky again.
Good stats. Stay within the
Streamlined.
rules.
It's good.
Give me 4.
It was
not
only
5.
10 minutes.
You wanted
Yeah,
4
that's
now.
what-
It's
that's
for the
exactly-
review.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be, each one wasn't going to be super long. If there were things that, stimulated discussion with
Which it did.
Bo,
Yeah,
then
that was
we'll
very good.
discuss.
Very good job.
Thank you.
All right. One thought. Every NFL game, Week 7, coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. I'm the preferred provider of copiers and document services for the Cleveland Browns. They'll tackle any size office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Time for one thought for every Week 7 game. Hello, Gibby.
Hello, boys.
How are you?
Fine.
Very good.
Let's get right down to it here.
Let's do it.
Ravens 38, Lions 6. Woof. Zagura, one thought.
It's just a dominant performance, right? A dominant performance by the Ravens. And you know, it's 38-6. It's a beating. This is their, if they go on to be a team of consequence, this will be the signature win of their season. But it is amazing how you don't think about it this way, but how quickly a game can get away from somebody. So the Ravens took the opening kick. They scored. Then they got the ball back, and then they scored. Then they got the ball back, and then they scored. And it was 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. And the Lions had the ball 2 times. They had 2 3-and-outs. They hadn't even gotten into the rhythm of the game.
No, it's over.
But it was over.
Yeah.
It was 21-0 at that point. Then they get another 3-and-out, and they scored again. So the first 4 possessions for the Lions, or the first 3, they only had possessed it 3 times. By the time they had got their 4th possession, they were down 28-0. The Ravens scored on each of their first 4, sandwiched in between 3 straight 3-and-outs. And then that was it. That was the game. Ball game, over. Dominant performance. Lamar Jackson is playing well. I said it when we played them. His ball placement is excellent. They got the ground game going with Edwards. Zay Flowers was a stud. That was a great draft pick by them. It's a good team. They're a team that scares me when people are talking about Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Like, they're not getting it out of Odell or Rashad Bateman. I think at some point they have to realize they probably aren't going to. But they've got right now a 1-2 with Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. It's good. But that feels to me like a team that if you all of a sudden dropped him into there, like, they would be terrifying.
Todd Monken
He's a stud.
is the best thing that's happened to Lamar Jackson, and this is the best that Lamar Jackson has played since he won the MVP.
I'm gonna throw something at you.
He was unreal. He's been good all year.
Can I see what you think of this?
Monken has been our
I'm writing
Jim
it down.
Schwartz.
Get out of my head, Gibbe. I was going to say Todd Monken was as big an offseason acquisition for the Baltimore Ravens as Jim Schwartz was for the Cleveland Browns. Gibbe, I saw the wheels turning. I'm like, he's going to do it, isn't he? And then he sure
beat
did.
to it. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Schwartz equals Monken.
Good
Wrote
note.
it down.
Yep.
Copious.
I do you feel that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Good Lord. I mean, it's,
too.
yeah, no, it's Watson. I'm sorry. Jackson has this is the best he's played in years. It's unbelievable right now.
And
he was electric Sunday.
Their only losses came to the Colts at home.
Weird loss. They
and
led the whole
to
game
the Steelers.
Too. Yeah, that's hard. I don't understand that.
Up next, Bears 30, Raiders 12. Bishop, one thought.
I'll take the Chicago side of this. I don't understand how what has historically been during their tenure one of the most incompetent offensive staffs can get this Tyson Bagent kid ready to go in a week to be that competent to play and really be part of the reason they were successful. And then today on their social, they were bragging about how he goes from read to read. Like, if he stacks another good game, like, at what point do you say, I don't know, we might be better off here? Like, that's crazy. Kind of reminds you of the Bailey Zappi situation last year in New England, honestly, a little bit. But they'll get tape and everything will get sorted out. But, like, how quickly a guy who played Division II football a year ago can win an NFL game. I mean, he was the first undrafted quarterback to win a game in the NFL as a rookie since 1950.
Mm-hmm.
It's
First
insane.
what?
Undrafted NFL quarterback as a rookie to win an NFL game.
First undrafted free agent rookie. Got it.
Yeah. A lot of qualifiers, but it hasn't happened since 1950.
That's pretty good. On the Bears side, my one thing is if you don't believe it, come and feel it. And that's exactly what happens.
How's he not in the WWE? What are they doing?
Where is he this week? I want a full parade. I want the full regalia. I want this guy on a microphone. He should be on McAfee show. I feel like McAfee would be the guy that would get Bagent's dad on and let's cut promos on each other. Perfect. Yeah. The other side, Raiders. Mark Davis, I know that you don't like doing this. You're going to have to eat that. You got to get that guy out of there. The fact that they started Brian Hoyer, no offense to Brian Hoyer, is organizational malpractice. Mm-hmm. Hoyer's now lost 13 straight starts for a variety of teams. You need to see this Aiden O'Connell. By the way, O'Connell comes in, goes 10 of 13 for 75 and a touchdown. Did throw a pick. Hoyer was 17 to 32, 129, 2 picks.
Yeah, his quarterback rating was 37.
What do you need? Why is he? But why are you even playing him? It doesn't make sense at all.
No.
Devontae Adams needs get out of there.
Yeah, he's got to go.
Get out of there. I mean, could you imagine? You leave Aaron Rodgers. You're like, all right, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to play with
my buddy,
my college
Carr.
quarterback, Derek Carr from Fresno
Great
State.
running back.
And we're going to have a great time. And then a year in the middle of that, basically at the end of that season, they basically benched Derek Carr. For
yeah,
who?
they
for
stopped
like
playing
Stidham?
him. That's right.
For
I forgot
Stidham?
about that.
I think so.
And he's not even with their organization anymore.
No.
Neither of them.
No.
Carr's gone. He feels to me like the kind of guy, though, and I don't like putting it in the universe, and maybe I'm doing that to like stop it from happening, because when we secretly talk about it, I hope the Ravens don't do this. They always do.
Usually do.
So, public, don't do that.
Not there.
Where's Dikembe Mutombo? Nope.
I was saying something other from Dikembe Mutombo earlier, but it's not for air. Patriots 29, Bills 25. Zagura. I don't get this one.
Flabbergasting.
300th NFL victory for Bill.
Absolutely flabbergasting. I think the only thing you can say is that it was some type of honoring week in New England.
It was. They wore silver pants and the whole bit.
He did a great speech. I don't know if you saw the clip for Dante Scarnecchia.
Oh, that's great. Not like he's Dante Scarnecchia.
You need a Dante Scarnecchia, and they were able to win this game. I don't understand how they lose it. The Bills, I don't understand that. Mac Jones all of a sudden 25 of 32, 72, 2 touchdowns. The Bills have a collection of just horrific losses. Fantasy-wise, though, Dalton Kincaid, go get him if he's on your waiver wire. You need a tight end. He's gonna be good. Dawson Knox, I think, went on IR after this game.
Yeah. Just from the Bills' perspective, they are impossible to read week to week. They have these huge lines every week, and they lose. I mean, this is the third time they've lost when they've been big favorites. So I have no idea what to make of them. But typically when a team does that, it means they're not very good. And so maybe that's where we are with Buffalo.
Onward we go. The G-Men.
Nope.
Get
No
the
comments from me.
Second win of the year. They beat the Commies 14-7. Zagura, do you have anything to add?
I thought Jonathan.
This is a joke. I mean, these are two.
What about Jonathan Allen? He was so fired up. That was
These
fun.
these two operations have been wayward for a decade. These are two organizations that in our youth were gold standards.
Yep.
The Giants and the Redskins. And to think that they are what they've been now for, I mean, really a decade, both of them, just irrelevant. It's crazy.
So Josina Anderson reported today that there are multiple teams that are trying to trade for and then also offer long-term contracts to Montez Sweat, who has 5.5 sacks, and Chase Young, who has 5 sacks. So are the Commanders fire sailing? Believe it or not, they have a better.
They're young players. They should build around them.
That's what I think you do with young studs. Young stud defensive ends don't grow on trees.
No.
But can they after they're so heavy into Allen and Daron Payne?
I don't know.
By the way, what's happened to Dotson there? That guy was really good as a rookie.
They don't really throw it very well. I mean,
But they love
they're
Howell.
always chasing. Yeah, but it's fool's gold. Him. He is exactly what you think he is.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of, what do we have next?
Gutless no more, at least for a week.
That's
The
good.
Falcons
That's
16,
For
Tampa
those-
Bay 13. Bishop,
We're able to keep up.
I'll bring you in on this one.
Thank you, sir. Look, the Falcons, they're very well coached by Arthur Smith. I don't understand their long-term play. But this is more of an indictment on Tampa Bay, which was really, really chesty a couple of weeks ago, and now,
of course.
in this situation.
We've seen that before.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Great front runner.
Now
It's not this.
Now it comes full circle a little bit for them. Like you can't lose to that Falcons team if you're Tampa Bay and you're trying to win that division. Can't do it.
No, and you wonder for Tampa, how many if they don't right the ship, if they continue kind of a downward trend, what do they do? Is this a team that does maybe try to make a move for Mike Evans? Give Mike Evans an does he join Devontae Adams potentially as a big name receiver who absolutely could come help a football team? So they get the Bucs now at Buffalo tonight. That doesn't feel like a win, right? And
Thursday night, you mean?
Yeah, Thursday night. Sorry, I said tonight. Yeah, Thursday night. Then at the Texans,
I wish it was
who are
tonight.
fairly game. I mean, they could also
Very.
be 3-5, but they need to make a decision between after this Bills game on what they're going to do. The trade deadline is Halloween, October the 31st.
We've already seen the Bayard deal, so there could be more guys of
We'll
all
get to
teams.
Dude,
I know.
Come on.
for like a fifth and a sixth for a seventh back
For that guy.
and Byard.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Total stud.
Yeah, the Eagles are all in and justifiably so and going for it.
Up next, the Squealers win 24-17 over the Rams, who cut their kicker today. And I think you guys probably talked about it in
We did.
segment 1. Picked up our backup.
Yeah.
Zagura, one thought.
So the Steelers have one game where they get 2 defensive touchdowns and they get a win. They have another game where they block a punt late for a safety and
They find a way.
and then they win. This one, you have a kicker
It
miss
annoys
2
me.
field goals and an extra point, which are 7 points. They turn the ball over in the red zone. At some point, you got to give them a little bit of credit, right? Pickett actually, I thought, had his best
This
game.
was his best game by
17
far.
to 25, 230 yards. They got Pickens involved, 5 for 107. Deontay Johnson was back 5 for 79. I don't know. I mean, it's stupefying to me. The Rams needed to take care of business right there. They did not.
Yeah, it's
And Puka Nacua is good. Really good.
he's very good. Yeah, he's what, third in the NFL in receiving.
Yeah, he's a 5th-round pick. Like, how did they find that guy?
I have no idea, but they did. It's not like they knew it. I mean, they waited till the 5th round to get him, so they kind
Right.
of stumbled into it. Yeah, I mean, give Pickett credit here. I mean, I've been critical about what he is. Never critical of that operation. Look, he's got a business.
Where's
to
his
run.
costume? Where's his costume?
Everybody thinks getting into costume down at the stadium.
What are you guys talking about?
We have a meeting today after the show that involves costumes. What are you, Uno? Uno
They're
can.
Uno's not invited. The interns are not
Oh,
invited.
no interns? Oh, luck, Uno.
You're all getting into costume. What are you two going as?
I'm going to go as the Macho Man.
Do you have all of it?
Not the top, but I have the bandana and the robe. And
What about
sunglasses.
you wearing the singlet?
No, I'm not wearing the trunks.
The trunks?
I'm not wearing the trunks.
They call those trunks?
Yeah, those are called trunks.
Those are not trunks. What are you wearing?
They are
I'm
trunks.
working
I think you
on-
should wear
I'm-
trunks.
I'm joining.
I'm not going to wear
Well,
trunks.
but Mach wore. Did he wear pants too, or just always trunks?
Late in his career, when he was in like WCW, wore pants and he wore like a cutoff T-shirt when he was like Macho Madness type guy. But when he was
Okay.
the Macho Man, Ray Savage of WWE,
It was
he
always-
wore yellow trunks with the 3 stars, pink boots, or white boots at times, and then he had his. Sometimes his trunks were orange. Then he had the glasses, the goggles,
Yeah,
the bandana, the robe.
the robe. What are you doing? What are you going as?
I'm remoting in.
Good for you.
Some people are special.
I have post-production.
Some people are special.
I think that's a good job
well,
out of you.
I mean, the meeting starts at 3.
Some
By the time
people are
I get
special.
to the stadium, I'm not exactly going to be there.
I want
time.
this segment to be recorded for posterity the next time that he tries to give me grief about anything. You work 2 hours a day. Any of that. No. Bottoms.
I need.
he's
I
working
need you,
4 today. Congratulations.
I need you to. I like the fact that you said no. I'm good.
I can't. Like,
No, it doesn't
logistically.
even matter to me about the logistics. I'm just proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Up next, the team we will face on Sunday.
Disappointed in me.
Seahawks
Write that
20,
down.
Cardinals 10. Bishop. We got to go rapid fire here a little bit.
No, let's take our time.
Well, we can't exactly. We do
Yeah,
have.
I was
We do a
going to
little
say
bit.
we haven't even stacked yet.
Why don't we continue this after the top of the hour?
No, we'll get through it.
Seattle hasn't yet shifted into what they're. I'm not sure what they are. Jackson Smith and Jigba caught a touchdown. They played without DK Metcalf, but nothing has really come easy for them.
No.
And yet they have a really impressive win over Detroit. I hope it doesn't start this week, but we have yet to see them really play like the way they did last year.
Segura.
Yeah, good team, good skill position talent. They can be explosive, but they don't really seem to get out of first gear. They haven't put teams away, and for an offense that you would think should really be putting a lot of points on the board, they put up 13 against the Rams, and they had a good stretch, 37-37 against the Panthers, 24 against the Giants, and then 13 against the Bengals, only 20 against the Cardinals. So they've been, the last few weeks, they're averaging below 20 points a game over the last 3 games. So this is a game where you got to limit them, and they will turn the football over. Geno Smith has been good this year, but he will turn the football over. And the Cardinals are exactly what we thought they were going to be. I mean, yes, they have.
They're not plucky anymore.
No, they're not plucky. They're not fun. It's bad ball.
Next up, Gross. Broncos 19, Packers 17. Zagura.
The
Broncos
Packers suck.
country's
The
2-5.
the Packers really suck.
They
Like
are.
the Jordan Love thing. They knew exactly what he was the whole time, and they still did what they did. Tells you how sick they got of Rodgers. Like he must just drove them nuts.
It seems like
'Cause there's
he is
just no other reason to do what they're doing.
terrible. And all of a sudden, Russ, in this game, 11 targets to Sutton and Judy, 11 catches, 140 yards and a touchdown. That's a little bit better. They do that. We'll see though. They go to Kansas City next, or they don't go to. They host Kansas City next week. The Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Chiefs 31, Chargers 17. Bishop.
Chiefs cooking. They're cooking.
Yep.
They got
Chargers
it rolling. They got
not
it
cooking.
rolling. They did whatever they wanted. You got to fire that guy in L.A. Got to. 2
yes,
and 4. 2
make
and
a
4.
change. They got to make a change there. They're wasting
Right now.
Herbert and a lot of talent down there. And then on the other side, I think the Chiefs just need to start every game with, "Are you ready for it?" Do. Little Taylor Swift. You
I
guys
don't know if
don't
he
know.
knew
I
that.
don't
I
know.
didn't
It's
know. I was
crazy.
going to say
How
I
do you
knew
not
right
know that?
away. I knew
I don't
right
know.
away.
All right.
The only song I know, I told you, there's the only song, the Shake It Off thing is I think the only song I know.
Okay,
You
question.
would know a lot more
Question.
than you think you know when you hear it.
I don't know him. The boys don't ask for it.
Is she,
Okay.
and then so I'm going to give you two names. Her, The Rock. Would you agree or disagree that either both are not, one is not, and you can identify amongst the 5 most famous people in the United States of America?
Sure.
You would agree with that?
I mean,
Yeah.
probably with LeBron and Trump. I mean,
Yeah, I had him on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else.
They
I
might
would
be
say.
like top 3, top 4. I don't know. But they
It feels
are,
like everybody would know who those people are.
Taylor Swift and The Rock? Yes.
The Rock, I think, has slipped a little though. The last year's been rough for him. He hasn't quite the hits that he had. Black Adam didn't go the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a year ago at this time. Launching Terramana, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final one, Eagles 31, Dolphins 17, Sunday Night Foosball, Bishop.
Hues are good, as in color.
Everybody just needs to go back to their great uniforms.
So the NFL pushed everybody to uniformity. The same Navy's one Navy. Everybody wears the same Navy. Everybody wears the same Royal. So all of a sudden, when you see Tampa Bay or you see the Eagles in these colors, you're like, wow, where is that color?
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, by the way, did you see what the Seahawks are wearing this
Are
Sunday?
they wearing them? Oh,
And
God,
they're
those are
beautiful.
gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
They are absolutely gorgeous.
Indescribably beautiful.
Philly's got it rolling. And I like Sirianni saying the reason other people don't do our plays because they can't run it as
Because
well
they
as
can't.
we can.
And he's right.
And he's exactly right.
It's illegal
It's
until they say it's not.
Absolutely it is. All right, Greg Newsome coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Supplies Plus give you a chance to win tickets to home games all season long while providing the best deals for your pet. Over 75 stores throughout Ohio. Enter to win at clevelandbrowns.com/Pet Supplies Plus and receive a coupon to use at your local store with your entry. Pet Supplies Plus, proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now here's Greg Newsome at the podium.
Hey, Greg, obviously
You're down.
came out with the win, but defensively, especially in that backfield, some issues tackling. What did you see out there, and how do you respond heading into this week with what you were able to do out there on the field?
Yeah, really, I just seen we just got to play better. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. We got to find a way to get guys on the ground, keep our eyes true, and we just got to overall play better in the back end for sure.
How do you expect to address that? I guess maybe in practice with Jim Schwartz now as the defensive coordinator this year. This is the first time we've seen some of those breakdowns really throughout the season. So how do you expect that to be approached in practice?
It's just sticking to the standard. I mean, I feel like we had a great week of practice. It just didn't translate all the way to the game. And I don't think we played a horrible game back there. We just gave up so many explosives, which is not in our identity. So, I mean, it's just really sticking to the script, going out there, keep practicing hard and keep trusting the process.
Hey, Greg, after that 49ers game, you guys are talking like the boombox defense, all that business. How difficult is it to kind of like not get full of yourselves and play with that same kind of intensity you had in that 49ers game?
It's not difficult at all. We're going to stick to that. I mean, we've had that swag the whole entire season. I mean, we just didn't play one, great game, and we've been playing, really good ball. So, I mean, it happens. It's the NFL. Guys get paid too. We just got to stick to the script, like I said, and just, trust each other out there and just, continue to have great practices. I mean, it happens sometimes. Luckily, we had an offense that was out there to have our back. It's complementary football. We're definitely going to be better on defense, but, it's not difficult. We never get too high for ourselves. We know the room we got, and even in a game like that, we know what we're capable of. So we'll fix it this week.
Yeah, Greg, are you running out of things to say about Myles Garrett? And just what's it like when you see him just take over a game the way he did in that first half?
No, we were joking about it yesterday. We had grabbed some food after the game. I was like, that's why you get paid the big bucks. But nah, man, he's amazing. I said it before. He's the best defensive player in the league, and he's gonna go down as one of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game. So so glad to have him on our team, and a guy like that was able to make so many plays for us out there. And bail us out a few times. So it's just amazing to have him on our team.
And a question on a couple of those long pass plays. Two of them went for touchdowns. The 75-yarder was the result of some missed tackles. But that first touchdown looked like a rare miscommunication. That's something we've not seen from this year. Is that what happened on that particular play? And how do you guys make sure that, that doesn't happen again?
No, it wasn't a miscommunication. We all knew what we were in. It's just, when we get stuff like that, as a secondary, we got to realize, our guys up front are going to attack. We're going to drop. We're going to have some offsides. We know that. I mean, those guys are trying to get out there and get to the quarterback. So we're going to have some of those things. But, as a secondary, we got to realize when those things do happen, we got to find a way to, get deep, because at the end of the day, it's a free play. So that's definitely on us as a secondary. We didn't have a miscommunication on that play. We just got to, keep our eyes better and play with better technique.
Hey, Greg, it just seems like watching this defense this year, like the mentality just feels so different. Like if something goes wrong, you guys always seem to bounce back. You bend, don't break, all of that. I mean, I guess, do you feel like that change from your earlier years in the league to now to this year? Does something feel really different, I guess?
For sure. I just think it's just the confidence we play with. Like, we playing with so much confidence. Obviously, we gave up 30-some points, but honestly, on the sideline and on the field, you wouldn't be able to tell. Like, on the sideline, we're still pumped. We're still jacked. We want to go back out there. We want to go make plays. So it's just so great to see, from a defense that obviously didn't have our best day. But at the end of the day, we didn't flinch, and we made enough plays for us to get the win. So it definitely feels a lot different. We're just a lot more confident.
Do you think it's like the part that Jim plays in that, plus like the new guys, like is it all, like it doesn't seem like there's one root cause of that confidence? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say it's a multitude of things. Obviously, Coach Schwartz is at the forefront of this. I think he's, given us so much confidence. And even him on the sideline, he's next play, make a new play, so guys we're not dreading on the sideline because we're giving up plays. We're continuing to play. But I think Coach Schwartz is at the forefront of that energy that we bring.
Hey, Greg, obviously when you talk about the confidence not being shaken, when you look at how the Colts were able to have some success yesterday, did you feel like they showed anything that you guys might be vulnerable to moving forward?
Not really. It just really comes down to, just attacking up front and then us as a secondary. I mean, we haven't given up that many explosive passes, the whole entire season and we given up, I think might have been 3 or 4 that game. So that's definitely on us in the back end. We got to play better. We're going to play some man. We're going to do some things like that. And when we play man, we got to win. And Coach Schwartz is confident in us to win. So at the end of the day, we just got to find a way to win. And, as a secondary, we're going to be better next week.
And when you talked about the offsides and then having to keep playing, do you feel like guys let up for a second because you could tell that Miles jumped on those 2 plays?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even me personally, I seen it and we kind of just chill. But, we kind of got to have that mindset, when they do jump, get deep, because they're just going to throw one up. And whether it's complete or not, it's going to be their ball anyways. Or even if we pick, it's still going to be their ball. So, yeah, we just can't get complacent on those plays.
Yeah, Greg, I have 2 things for you real quick. The first one is you've been super supportive of Deshaun and making sure that everybody knows that, you guys, he's got, you guys have his back and all that kind of stuff. So just wondering, did you have any words of encouragement for him or anything when he was over there on the sideline, kind of being disappointed he couldn't be out there helping you guys win?
No, I was just, man, we got your back. I tell him that every time, and I tell that to every quarterback and every offensive player that, walks off that field. We got your back no matter what. We obviously support him. So that was just the only words I always tell him, we got your back.
And just also wondering, in the life of a cornerback, when the game is on the line like that, did you almost in a way feel for Burks for getting those, those calls at the end? Because, sometimes they can go either way and they decide a game. I mean, what's it like to have to live on the edge like that all the time?
Nah, it's horrible, honestly. But at the end of the day, you kind of can't put it in the hands of the officials. So just that's why we kind of preach, being technically sound and keeping our hands low and things like that. Because at the end of the day, that's just how the league is now. A lot of those 50-50 calls are going to go to the offense. So you just kind of got to find a way to, be a technician and, don't play with your hands. Don't be as grabby.
Hey, Greg, I asked Wyatt this too, but you've got a different perspective because you're playing an entirely different position. What is it like to play in a game that has 8 lead changes, that feels like it is constantly hanging in the balance and you are constantly in a spot where you got to make a play?
Yeah, honestly, it's not fun. Obviously, we would love to win the game by 30 every single time and be easy. But honestly, those are moments that I live for. And as a defense, we live for that, finding a way to get that one stop. Because there are going to be games where teams are scoring, we're scoring. It's a battle. But it's whoever can make that one play to win the game. So, when it's
2 minutes
and we get to get on the field and get our offense to stop and get them the ball back, we live for moments like that. So it's definitely not fun at all. I'll tell you that. I'd rather win the game by 30 or make sure the game is over already. But, when we're out there, we're just like, let's get the ball back for our offense.
Take us inside your mentality and which is more difficult for you when you're playing in a game like the one you just played that can be mentally exhausting because you can't seem like you take a play off, or is it more difficult when a situation pops up where you've got to turn the switch on and maybe you've been on cruise control because you got a 20-point lead for a bit?
More difficult. I would say they're both kind of difficult. Honestly, this one, when our offense is rolling like that, I'd rather be in this situation knowing, we get that one stop, get them the ball, they're rolling, so they're both pretty difficult though, for sure.
We talk about compliment.
1 minute.
And even on the defense, how you guys boost each other up and keep that confidence. But when you are on the sideline and you're seeing the offense get that game-winning drive or the Corey Bojorquez give you guys good field position. Dustin Hopkins make a really good field goal. What do you say to those members of the Browns, and how does that kind of play into how you guys go out there as a defense and want to play for them?
Yeah, we just say, man, love you guys. We got each other back. I mean, Kareem constantly comes over to us. We got
30
to stop. Like, that's just how we are as a team. If they get stopped, we tell them, don't worry, we got you. We're going to get you the ball back. So I think it's just that complimentary football and just us being honestly a band of brothers. I feel like we all are so close on both sides of the ball. And when one side of the ball is not playing well, like the defense,
stand by.
The offense is coming to us saying, look, just get us a stop, get us the ball back. We're going to win it. So I love being on this team, and it's definitely complimentary.
You're up.
All right, there's Greg from the podium. Coming up next, we'll go around the football world. A lot of stuff happening, including that trade of Kevin Byard. We'll get you details on that. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Howdy.
Browns fans, visit your local Tide Cleaners during the month of October for a chance to win tickets to an upcoming Browns home game. You'll automatically be entered to win with any purchase. We had a trade. The Titans traded former All-Pro safety Kevin Byard to the Eagles for a 2024 fifth-round pick, a 24 sixth-round pick, and safety Terrell Edmonds heading to Tennessee.
All in.
Yeah, as they should be. And listen, remember, they
How much
lost.
space is there?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Average
Dodgeball,
Joes?
the Average Joes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a solid costume. That makes me smile.
Do you know what I identified Zagura's hoodie, the color? I think I have it. Have you? Because I've never seen that on anything, but then there was a familiarity to it. I'll get to that. There was a familiarity to it, right? It's the color of the Indiana Jones jacket.
Yeah.
The bomber
Oh,
jacket.
bomber. Yeah. Which
That's
would
the
make
color.
sense.
The salute to service is it's the Indy.
The hoodie,
bomber.
not so much.
No, the hoodie.
No,
the
the
color of the
hoodie
hoodie
is
is found in a diaper.
I think you have that right.
I
Yeah.
think I do have that right.
Yeah, and I know they don't want to keep running
Which
the
is
same.
sad.
Yeah, they don't want to run the same stuff back all the time. But like,
I was told it's a great fabric, though. Not kidding. I said
That
that
it's
to
a great
Scarlett,
fabric?
and he's like, "Yeah, but it's such a great fabric."
Oh, really? That's what Scarlett said.
He's like, "Have you felt that hoodie?" I said, "No,
No, I've not.
I avoid." Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
Worried
said
about
it's
it.
a great
Worried
fabric. Yeah, man, he's fired up. He's not happy with me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think my
love
answer
that.
was pretty apropos. He attacked me personally instead of the facts of what I said,
Yeah.
of my assertion, which is gaslighting.
This is unbelievable. I have to read this tweet. The NFL is better than college. Every NFL team would beat every college team better. It's amazing.
He's the one who said he can't listen to anybody who thinks the NFL is better than college. Every team in the NFL beat their team, they're better. What do you mean?
What do you want?
It's a better level of
It's a higher
level of
level.
football.
What do you want from me?
It's the highest, as a matter of fact.
Poor ass.
The Panthers would go in there, and they're as bad as they'd smoke somebody. Vegas Raiders, maybe not.
That's
No,
funny.
they would. They wouldn't be able to
That is
handle-
very, very
No.
funny.
Yeah.
Philly seems to have a never-ending ability to add dudes, and they've been this way for 15 years. They're always able to get people. It's
Well,
Howie Roseman always has a way
'Cause they're
to
going
bring
for
people
it.
in. No, but even they've done this over and over again. I mean, it feels like anytime there's a fire sale, they're first of the line to swoop in.
Of course, because they're smart and there's an inefficiency in that market that they're exploiting to their benefit. And you think about last year, they got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Now they weren't able to give him. He wanted more money. They were willing to give him. So how did they do that? They replaced him with Kevin Byard for nothing,
Yep.
which is a great move by them. They freed up money because Hargrave left. What'd they do? They draft Jalen Carter, who is
Better.
a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's better, but he's a beast.
Great nickname, too. Baby Rhino. I think that's just a spectacular nickname.
I'm pretty sure he's full
He
grown.
might be full-grown Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are going to be featured on this year's in-season edition of Hard Knocks. That is a potential.
I'm
to
very
be good.
excited.
I didn't even watch it last year.
Give me all the McDaniel content I can
What
get.
was it? The Cardinals last
Who
year?
knows? Who cares?
I think
They've done Colts,
Colts,
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
I never
Cardinals.
watched it.
I watched a few episodes.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
The NBA starts
No
tonight,
time.
for God's sakes, which I was unaware of. The baseball stuff's going on. NHL's a week and a half in. You got all the college football and NFL. I don't have time for another hour.
No time.
In August, I got all the time in the world.
No time.
No time.
By the way, Rhino, there was a professional wrestler named Rhino who's
Yeah.
started in ECW. And if you ever look him up, he has the widest body with the littlest arms of any human ever that I've ever seen, but he doesn't mean his spear was called the gore, as though a rhino would gored you with its horn. And it was very effective.
That's pretty good. Who wins in a fight, a rhino or a hippo?
I would think eventually a rhino.
I don't.
I've heard hippos
know.
are pretty
They are.
nasty.
But
when they get after it.
here's the thing, though.
Wide
Are we
mouth.
going on land? I mean, if it's in water, hippo,
Obviously.
massive
Yeah,
advantage.
yeah.
But I think on land, I'm going to go rhino because at some point it's going to be able to get that one. It's going to
At some point,
it's
that
gonna
horn's
hit
gonna
that
get you.
one, and that's going to be a problem for the.
Yeah, it's a hell of a
hippo.
weapon they got on the end of their nose.
Right. The hippo's hungry hippos good at getting those balls in there, but I don't know about eating a rhino.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like you have to eat a rhino to like.
Yeah,
That's a
you'd
good
have to.
game.
That was a very good game.
I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill did not practice today. Mike Vrabel says if he can't play on Sunday, the team will play both Malik Willis and
Is this a
Will
joke?
Levis. What is he doing?
Is that a
It's got to
joke?
be a joke, right?
You just play quarterback.
Pick one. You've had them both.
Or
Had
say
Willis
that
for
we're
2
going to
years.
play right, and you know he's not the guy. That's just why you drafted Will Levis. Play Will Levis, get him every rep that you can get him, and then I think they could have packages
Yeah.
for Malik Willis, which would be maybe what this is saying here. But if we're talking about series here, you get a series, you get a series.
That's nonsense.
This is
No
the,
thanks.
this is the national. That's college stuff.
College stuff.
That's
S.
college stuff. S.
Can't do it in the league. Cannot have it. Top 4 college teams right now. I would go. Go ahead.
This is.
Do you want to guess here?
Yeah. I do. I enjoy that.
This will be good.
Georgia,
Okay.
Ohio State is not 2, but Michigan's 2, I think. Michigan, Ohio State, and then 4th.
It's a test of your eyesight. When's the last time you had
Eyes are very good. LASIK. Thank you.
LASIK? Yeah.
It's Colorado.
Despite the 2 losses.
That's all I heard about was Colorado.
And the loss to,
Is it Alabama?
The loss to Arizona State a couple of weeks
Is it
ago,
Alabama?
particularly.
No, I know.
Actually, they
I
have
know
3
it wasn't
losses.
Colorado.
No, yeah, I would go
Oregon?
I would say the top. Michigan's played nobody, but they dominate who they play. So I would have them number 1.
Except the Falcons.
Except the Falcons. I'd have Georgia 2.
Okay.
I'd have Ohio State 3, and I would probably have Florida State 4, Oklahoma on the outside looking in 5th.
Washington also in there.
Washington, that's who it is.
Washington's.
Did they beat Oregon on the missed field goal,
they
right?
They did. They were pretty bad. They were bad last week. They survived at Arizona.
Yeah, right.
Arizona State.
Sun Devils.
Yeah.
Arizona had a good game against somebody. Was it USC?
Yeah, Washington's right there, too. I think Ohio State has the best resume. They're not the best team right now. That doesn't mean they can't get there.
They have Maserati Marv.
Yeah, they do. They have the better nickname is Farmer Gronk. That's the better one, the tight end, Cade Stover. That's pretty good.
That is good.
Marvin
Harrison he's Marvin Harrison Jr. He doesn't need a nickname.
He doesn't.
His name is it.
That's
the resume.
Yeah, that's it. And Gibby also asks, who's your Heisman favorite right now? It would probably be Michael Penix Jr. at Washington.
It's the quarterback from Michigan.
J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, and Marvin Harrison Jr. would be on that list. He's going to
be
right now. I know we don't do this a whole lot, but right now I saw like 20-1 Harrison to win the Heisman.
I want you to know I'm in a dynasty league that is where you like basically have your roster and all you get to add is waivers or trades or the draft rookies. I'm tanking for Marv. I want Marvin Harrison on my team for the rest of his career.
I think it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I want that.
That'll work out just fine for you.
I'm trying. I'm in the tank is on. But then I won 1 week inexplicably, and then so I gotta
shut it down.
No more.
Can't have that.
No more.
Can't have that. All right, we'll do a little higher, lower coming up next.
That's called better or worse. Yeah,
that's true. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Your game plan for this season includes buying or selling a home. Howard Hanna has the answer, delivering a winning strategy for breaking down the game of real estate. As the market leaders in Northeast Ohio, more buyers and sellers trust Howard Hanna to be their winning home team. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBrowns today for more. Time for a little higher or lower, better or worse. Presented by Keep It Fun Ohio from the Ohio Lottery. Reminds you, know the risks before you gamble. Hello, Gibby.
Tuesday
Tuesday
means a little higher or lower via The Athletic.
Better or worse?
Hey,
Josh Kendall.
Before we get started,
Absolutely.
I want to see if you guys can guess this. So this is the thinking is this is going to be NBC and his buddies' last group Halloween, right? So they wanted to go as a group.
It's not though.
No, I know it's not. Halloween has so many more valuable things that come later in life that they will understand later.
Yeah.
But for right now, their last traditional costume.
What are they going as?
Well, I'm going to see if you guys can guess it.
All right,
So
the NWO, Ghostbusters.
They
Stranger
said
Things.
they wanted to dress as a group.
Got it.
Okay, they wanted to dress as a group.
That's where my guesses were coming
And they
from.
wanted to be a little bit scary. And one of the kids said, well, maybe we could even go viral. Okay, so then they came to me for help. The mother said, well, what could we do? What is something that would be cool that would have all of that? And so then the only hint I will give you is 80s nostalgia. It's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Little Goonies?
Tough on the costume.
I think they should have all gone as Predators.
It would have been amazing, the whole team.
All of them.
Could have been hard on the costume, though.
Yeah.
Short notice. 80s nostalgia.
Star Wars, they're not going to go viral for that, so no.
And they all got to be
fighter
There's one
pilots?
other thing I should have said. They're all dressing the same.
Yeah.
So they're all dressing the same.
They should have gone as a boy band.
Gremlins. Give us another hint.
Show had the movie had an incredible popularity, 80s nostalgia, and then a renaissance as a television show more recently.
From the 80s.
We just ran it up back as a TV show.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Is that a
He
TV
did that
show?
last year. He did that last
He did
year.
it last
We were
year?
Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And Bootsy last year was Maverick.
Great.
Which was great.
Tremendous costume.
That was good.
And it's a TV show now.
TV show now.
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I'm
All right,
not
here
watching.
Here we go. I'm having them dress as Cobra Kai dressed as skeletons.
Like it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
A little bit terrifying.
Can we have one of them go as the shower?
I don't know that any of them have seen the movie.
Somebody needs to be the shower. You need to have 3
Yeah.
Cobra Kai
By the
guys
way-
and one shower.
By the way, Danny LaRusso deserved to get his ass kicked
In that shower?
in that operation. In the shower, the fact that he put water on LaRusso or on Johnny Lawrence.
Well, that was dumb, but the shower was actually great when he was able to bring
the
her
shower
into the
was-
shower
it was,
curtain.
That
It
was
a-
nice. She never would have fallen for him. The idea that he put
Elizabeth
the water
Shue?
on Johnny. Come on.
Well, that was
Come on. You deserve what you get, and then he can't get out of there quick enough. Come on. Terrible plan.
then Miyagi had to come out.
Yeah, those Cobra Kai guys were locked in.
All right, we need how many people are in the crew?
4.
What we really need is 5. So we need to
I can find another one.
Let's
yeah.
get a 5th. We need 3
or 4 Cobra Kais.
3 Cobra Kais in the skulls. We need a LaRusso in the shower, and then we need Mr. Miyagi.
I could do Miyagi.
Yeah, you'd be the best Miyagi.
That'd be good.
It would be.
Yeah,
good.
you be Miyagi.
I could do that.
And then when the kids are around, you rough the kid. Hey,
That's enough. I was thinking about going as the other instructor, the Cobra Kai guy.
oh man, he's so bad.
That guy was so great.
Strike first, strike
bad,
hard,
so
no
great.
mercy, sir.
So good.
Fear does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, sensei.
I like those
That
guys.
was great. Your clues were spot on.
Yep.
Spot on. I think if they want to go viral,
Yeah.
if this is the goal, you need somebody in the shower,
Yeah.
and you need
like
Miyagi.
Yeah, I need
You
the
need-
showers. Gonna
you
be
need a
must.
5
I don't know if I can turn the shower that quickly.
I mean, I feel like it's just a circular piece of pipe, a shower curtain, a shower head.
All of a sudden,
You can weld this. You can weld this.
Weld it all
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I feel like
Piping
I
and
bet
then-
you could get.
Can you
hold
have-
on. I feel like at your palatial estate that you have to have at least one, if not a series of handymen on your speed dial.
I got Dave.
You say Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
craft this. Dave says, no problem. Here's the fee associated with it. You say, good. And now we're viral.
Now we got a guy.
Now we got a guy.
All right.
And you got.
I'm writing it down. Shower curtain is needed.
You need 3 Cobra Kais, a LaRusso, and your Miyagi in that little like tan suit would be awesome.
That little outfit.
Yeah. Carry around a bonsai tree
I
to
like
really
it.
like let people know, hey, I'm
Yeah.
Miyagi.
What's
Yeah.
happening? All right. I like it. All right, we'll work on that.
Chopsticks, catch flies. I mean, let's do the whole thing. Tell the kids
Didn't it
though.
take forever
You know what's the best
when you were
part?
watching that movie? That it just takes forever for him to get good at karate.
It does.
I mean, it's like 30 minutes of painting and other stuff. Like, come on, let's go.
But it was important. That was the you had to
I
pay his
understand,
dues.
but like it takes.
Well, I
forever.
didn't like it, and I'm glad I
We
wasn't
got
doing
Elizabeth
it.
Shue out there in her prime running around.
Yeah,
and
we're going
spending
putt
time
putt.
painting.
Yeah, and
Come
but he
on,
got that
let's go.
beautiful car out of it.
He did.
He got the beautiful car. I do think. I think this is it. I think
All right.
that's it.
I'll work on it.
The shower. It's big.
Josh Kendall, power rankings, The Athletic.
Good. My
like
other
that'll
note was
kill
going to
us.
be if you were going to make NBC be LaRusso,
Yeah.
that like before he goes out to really get into character, you should make him like paint some fences or something. Like, all right, before you go out tonight, you
Like
actually-
method?
method. Actually,
In that-
I need you to paint that fence.
In that scene, LaRusso's in a West Chandler jersey, a West Chandler Chargers jersey.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. All right, higher or lower? Go ahead, give it.
Higher or lower? Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Can't go higher. Are they lower or are they just right? Bishop.
It's them or Philly right now.
They're back.
What I like about this guy's power rankings is he is using what he just saw last weekend, which I think is always really cool when people do that. So I have no problem with Kansas City. To me, it'd be them or Philly, but I have no problem with them. They're humming right now. They are.
Zagura.
Yeah, they're number 1, and the Eagles are number 2. Last year's Super Bowl champs.
Run it back.
Last year's Super Bowl runner-up. All back.
Next.
Higher or lower?
Eagles 2, Ratbirds, number 3. Last week he had them 12. Number 3, the Ratbirds. Zagura, higher, lower, or just right?
I mean, that was one of the most decisive, dominating victories that we've seen this year because it wasn't 70-10 against the hapless Broncos. This was against a quality opponent and a team that had been, considered to be amongst the league's elite in the Detroit Lions. So, I have no problem with that. Miami's losing. Buffalo's losing. Detroit was in the conversation at 3. They lost to the Ravens, as a matter of fact. So I got no problem with it. I think actually Baltimore is just right where they are.
Bishop?
Yeah, same. They get it. He gets this right. I love this. Again, this is
a good
what he
power
just
ranking.
saw last weekend. Not what I think they're going to be or what they are at their best. What they were last weekend. The Ravens are 3rd. It's where they need to be.
All right, so I will just ask you on the next 3 if you agree or
go ahead.
or not. Number 4, he's got Miami.
Okay.
Number 5, the 49ers. And number 6, the Lions, all of whom lost.
Can we have just a brief Miami conversation?
No. I'd like it to be medium, not just brief.
Okay. So they've if you look at who they've beaten,
not many quality opponents.
No, there isn't. So the 2 teams that they played they played 3 teams that I think of like talent. The Chargers, who they beat in week 1, and then Buffalo and now Philly, and they're 1-2 in those games. So, like, were they? It's almost like a college football conversation. Were they as good as we thought they were, or what do we make of them?
They remind me of an old ball coach team, a Spurrier team with Danny Werfel, that would
96
just
Florida
annihilate teams that were. And this team may have actually done better than that because
They
Danny
won the
Werfel was
national
good.
title,
Okay,
and he
all
won
right,
the Heisman, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Spurrier in the preseason in Washington, also with Danny Werfel, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
Where they lit everybody up that was not trying.
He did Urban before Urban.
Totally.
Same
And
thing.
then in the regular season, no. And maybe this team is one that can beat up on lessers in such a dominating fashion, but they are not able to match wits with the elites.
I like it. Yeah.
Now, what will help Miami, and I'm just reading this, did you know they play only one team with a winning record, the Chiefs, between now and Christmas Eve when they play the
Jeez.
Cowboys? You could go on a run there.
They should go on a run.
They will. Yeah, they will, because they will obliterate those type of teams for sure. It's interesting. We just stumbled on that. I never thought of that in that perspective. Like, if there was 24/7 coverage, was Spurrier's disaster in Miami? It wasn't as disastrous as Urban because there wasn't the off-field stuff, but that was an abject failure.
Oh, yeah.
And remember how stupid he thought he was going to throw it all the time. He thought guys were just going to run go routes. He had Danny Werfel and Shane Matthews were his
Shane
quarterbacks,
Matthews,
the kids
yes.
who he played for at Florida. And then real quickly, he's like, "Wow, you know what? I'd rather just go back to. I'll go to South Carolina even."
Yep.
And before that, he tried lobbying to get the Gator job when they hired Urban instead. I just thought of that. Like that's an unbelievable
that was
flame out, and he was just
bigger
as
flame out.
because
Saban
Urban was
or him?
Oh, him for sure. Saban actually did okay with Miami. He was okay. They just blew it on the quarterback. Like if he would have got Breeze, I think he would have stayed in Miami for a very long time. I think Saban actually was over 500 the first year.
To be fair to Spurrier, he did go 12-20, which compared to what Urban Meyer
got
produced
2 years.
was significantly better than that. So he goes in the NFL. He goes to them in 2002.
Yeah.
After he resigned his position at Florida, came the head coach, 5-year, $25 million, most lucrative coaching contract in the history of the NFL time. After a fast start, they led off the preseason in Japan where they beat the Niners 38-7. They threw for over 400 yards and were accused of running up the score.
Oh yeah, it was like Urban when Urban was how he coached in the preseason.
Not my fault they can't score.
They went 4-1 in the preseason, but then they were able to slow his offense. By the end of the season, they were ranked 25th out of 32 in scoring offense, finished 7-9. And then in 2003, they started 2-0, finished 5-11, and that was it. Marvin Lewis was his defensive coordinator, left to go become the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, and that was it. 2 years. So they had Werfel and Shane Matthews, and then they drafted Patrick Ramsey.
Yeah, the kid out of
Tulane. Snyder pushed for the drafting of him. Spurrier said he would not play him much during the rookie season. He was pressured to use him by team officials, and Ramsey was starting by game 4.
Yeah, Snyder was a mess. But
Yep.
he did the same thing. Like, he thought he could run fun and gun, which is basically, I have better athletes than you. We're going to run 4 goes.
Good luck.
And the same thing Urban did. Remember, Urban had that presser. He said, I want to be balanced, 250 run, 250 pass. Remember that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was the same. It's very similar. Saban, by the way, went 15-17 in his 2 years
better.
in Miami.
So Urban is
9-7
unique.
year 1, and then 6-10 in year 2.
Here he goes. Spurrier spoke about his NFL coaching experience during SEC Media Days in 2014. Quote, when I left Florida after 12 years, I thought I was going to coach in the NFL for 5 or 6, retire to the beach, play a bunch of golf, travel around, this, that, and the other. But it was a bad plan. It was. Later, he found out that was not a real good idea. But that's the way I was thinking back then. He said, I went to the team that offered the most money instead of the best situation. The owner and the personnel guys, they picked the team. I couldn't even pick the quarterback in the second year, so I knew it wasn't going to work, but that's okay. Probably didn't do a very good job, and the situation wasn't what I was looking for, so it was time to move on.
Move on, we will.
Yeah.
Next.
What a professional transition.
The rest of the top 10, since we only have a minute left. Just
We're having
get your
fun.
thoughts. Browns 7, Jacksonville 8, Cowboys 9, Bills 10. Number 11 is the Bengals.
I'm fine with all. I think Jacksonville's ahead of us
I
right
do
now
too.
because of where we are in the
Yes.
pass game. Like, you can't be 31st in the league in passing and efficiency and be ahead of Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a legit Super Bowl contender. We have a Super Bowl defense, but you have to have a Super Bowl offense. The rest of it I'm fine with.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville is probably ahead of where we are. It's interesting that this has us ahead of the Steelers, Bengals, Bills, Cowboys, Jags, Seahawks, who we play this week. And we have the potential. We just have got to get this quarterback situation figured out, and I think tomorrow will be an interesting day, certainly in that regard. Are we going to get – here's the other thing. Deshaun Watson has not, since leading up to week 3, had a full week of practice. Do we get that tomorrow?
So much more to come. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Car, truck, or motorcycle accident caused your injury, call the injury lawyers 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk & Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. NBA tonight.
The
I didn't even realize
association.
it till about halfway through this morning.
I only knew it because they were talking about it on the Manicast with Clay.
Yeah, they had Clay on last night. Yeah.
Clay's like, they're like, why aren't you watching? Shouldn't you be watching film? Is Steve Kerr gonna be mad you're doing this? He's like, I've been in the league for a decade. I know these guys.
I know what I need to know
And
about
this
Durant
is game
and these
one
guys.
of 82.
Right.
Yeah. Ask me in 5 months if I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah. So you got that. This is the sports solstice. Everything's going. You got the LCSs on both sides. We have a game 7 tonight, I think, don't we?
Texas is in. They
Texas
won.
is in, but I think the other one.
The other
went
one
to a
goes
game
7 tonight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
Coach will be watching that.
If I were to tell you
One
guys
night.
when you were wee little lads that a football game at noon, a college football game at noon, would do double the rating of an LCS game in prime time.
I don't think I would
Wrap your head around that.
Yeah, maybe I would.
And
I
how
don't
much
think I
more
believe.
would it have done had it been at night, like it was should?
Oh
have
my
been?
gosh, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did 10 million.
Yeah.
At noon. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it from the plane on my phone
you
for
go.
2 hours.
There you go.
30.
The next level's coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.